Hello, everyone. Hello. There we go. Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful that we have so many guests here today. We are incredibly excited. You can feel the energy in the room. Obviously, a historic day, and thank you all for coming. My name is Kyle Boyd. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Here we go. I am here representing the Seattle Kraken, and we are incredibly excited to have played a small part in bringing this amazing project to a reality. I work in youth and community development for the team, and our goal is not only to grow the great game of hockey, the fastest game on ice, the fastest sport in the world, up in Seattle and in the Pacific Northwest, but to also ensure that we grow it right here in the Coachella Valley. I'm going to run through a few quick thank yous, but first I want to acknowledge, my esteemed guests, the people that I connect with right here, front row, rocking their jerseys. Guys, stand up, show them off. You guys have an awesome sweater. I wear number 12. It's about a medium. The Desert Blaze Youth Hockey Association, thank you for your support through this project. Thank you to all the parents and coaches. Without you guys, none of this is possible. So thank you. Another special thank you to our hosts, the HN and Francis C. Berger Foundation. All of their support for this project is integral to making it happen. And finally, yes, thank you. Thank you. And finally, thank you to everyone in the audience for your role, big or small, in helping to bring this $300 million privately funded arena dream to reality. So we know this is going to have an incredible impact on the Coachella Valley community, and we are so excited to be a part of it. I'm just going to touch on that word really briefly, community. I grew up just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and my dad is involved in sports medicine. I fell in love with the great game of hockey very young and spent more times in rinks and arenas and venues than I probably care to admit today. But I can tell you, in those spaces and playing on those teams, nothing brought a community together quite like sports. Nothing brings people together quite like music. Nothing brings people together quite like the amazing events that are going to come to this space. So we are incredibly excited, not only for the sport, but also all those other community moments, life-changing moments. A brief story about me. I was skating one day at a local ice rink up in Seattle or near Seattle. It was a public event, public skate, so you had people of all ages and backgrounds and abilities, and I was skating around doing my thing. And a person came up to me and said, wow, you're a really good skater, where are you from, so on and so forth. And we got to talking, and that person said, I'm working on a team, on a project that's bringing the NHL to Seattle, and that person happened to be Todd Lywicki. And that one moment on a rink, on a random day, changed the trajectory of my life, and I know that this venue is going to change the trajectory of so many young people, so many community members, and transform what we know can happen here and obviously beyond. So we're really excited. With that, I'm going to send it over, and we're going to watch a quick video to talk a little bit more about what's to come.
To move forward, Riverside County
project, which is set to house the newest American League hockey team.
Arena going up, where it's going to have sports, entertainment, and much more.
People obviously love music there. So go to Coachella, and these festivals are the biggest in the world.
It's one of the largest points of destination for music in the country. Millions and millions of people enjoy the best in live entertainment and music.
We'll tackle climate change. The big goal here is to become completely carbon neutral for operations by 2025.
I think the community is really going to support hockey to have a vibrant place. It's especially exciting to bring an arena there.
This is about wanting to do something spectacular. There's not going to be another one of these in our lifetime.
I'm already just really excited just watching that video. I'm going to introduce CEO of the Oakview Group, Tim Lywicki.
Okay, this only took us, what, about 3 years, Manny, to get here? And not your fault, by the way. It was our fault. So first, Kyle flew in today. It's a big day for us in Seattle. Today is Ping Pong Day. And for those of you that are new to hockey, this is where you spend $650 million to go buy an expansion franchise so you could today at 4 o'clock see whether or not a ping pong ball bounces right and you get the first pick in the NHL draft. So best $650 million we ever spent. It shows you, they don't want to allow any gaming or casinos in Seattle, but we're living and dying by a ping pong ball today, Manny. But Kyle, thank you for flying in. And before I do prepared remarks, and Irving will say that is the first time in our 40 plus years of partnership I ever did prepared remarks. But come here, you two. Come here. This is why we did it. Give them a round of applause. Your name's Bodie?
Yeah.
Oh, so great story. So the new head of hockey for the Krakens, last name is Bodie. You're in like Flint, dude. You're going to get drafted for sure. So to Kellen and Bodie, what kept us going this whole time is you're going to hear all about the arena today. But we're building a training center, and we're building a training center for you. So for hockey players, for this amateur community, for kids in this community, for figure skaters, for moms and dads who want a Friday night on the ice where they get a chance with the family to have a family disco night. I think they still do those at ice skating rinks. We're building you one of the greatest training centers ever built for hockey, so you not only have a place to play and grow, but we take athletes that you aspire to be. So you are the reason we stuck at this, and I want to thank you for coming. You were there when we announced, and you're back here today. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you very much. So just a couple of quick thank yous. This was a long process. We had a start, and then a stop, and then another start. And then we had the greatest health crisis in all of our lifetimes in a generation. Most people ultimately would have run. Most people would have been afraid. Most people ultimately would have quit at that point. But there were a couple people that drove us, a couple of people that ultimately created a partnership and a spirit, and a couple of people that understood the vision. So it began with Doug Vance and the Burger Foundation, Mike Rover, and the team that works for the Burger Foundation day to day. We would not be here today. I can honestly tell you this. If it wasn't for the Burger Foundation and their vision, not just a vision for the property next door, a vision for this valley and for everyone that lives in this valley and this community. There is a reason why they're the largest foundation and the most giving foundation in Coachella Valley. And we saw their generosity, their commitment, and their passion for Coachella Valley. So Doug, thank you very much. To everyone on your foundation board, thank you very much. Mike Rover, great job. Let's give a hand to the Burger Foundation. So I'm still mad at Karen and Manny and the rest of the Riverside Council because they made us sat through public meetings last week. And I at the end of the 3-hour public hearing, I looked at them and said, I'm not sure how much you're getting paid, but it's not enough after hearing all of that. Newfound admiration for what they had to deal with, especially we're all frustrated, we're all tired. It's been a long 14 months, but they stuck with us. So everybody at Riverside, the people in the planning, the people that work day to day, I had to tell you, I've had the good fortune in my lifetime of building 20 arenas and stadiums. I've never had as good an experience and as focused an experience as we had with Riverside County. So Manny Perez, thank you very much for your leadership. Thank you to the council, and thank you to your staff. If there was one person that ultimately understood the vision, that I'll tell you about in a second, it was Scott White. So when we first met with Scott 3 years ago and told him, look, Riverside County, if you look at this metropolitan area, it's the 13th largest metropolitan area in the United States, and it doesn't have a world-class arena. What if we go build one? And he's like, well, you know, they don't want to subsidize. I said, no. We don't need public taxpayers' money. They should pay it on education and roads and safety. We get that. We'll build it privately. Once we got going with him, so funny, Scott was the first guy that looked at me and said, you got to be kidding me. And now Irving and I are looking at each other going, oh my God, they thought we were serious. I guess we're paying for the whole thing. Or, as Irving said, oh, and I won't tell you what the last word is. So Scott understood what we were trying to do. He understood, we think Coachella Valley, we learned from, I think, the most important person in live entertainment that I've ever had the great privilege of being around, Paul Toulette in the Coachella Festival. And what we learned is this is a place people love coming to. This is a place that those 35 million people in the state of California want to come spend a weekend, want to come spend a week. This is a place where all of those people from Canada and the north want to come for the wintertime. How appropriate is it that we have 450,000 people that all migrate here during the wintertime thinking they were escaping hockey, and now we're moving a hockey team here? As the great Jack Kent Cooke said when he ultimately bought the Forum, the Lakers, and the Kings, and everyone said, do you know there's 1 million Canadians that now live in Southern California? Isn't that great for the Kings? And he says, no, they moved here to get the hell away from hockey. But we're happy to be a part of Scott's vision. We're going to be a great resource and a tool for him going forward. So to all of those people, thank you very much for hanging in there with us, believing in this. The other thing I'll announce today is we have this is a pretty good project when you get to announce another founding partner. So a key to this deal was the synergy with Seattle, and one of the most important parts of that was Alaska Airlines. So we're proud to announce today our second partnership after we announced Verizon a few weeks ago, who will do 5G connectivity and the greatest Wi-Fi connectivity you're going to have in any arena at this new arena. We also announced Alaska Airlines, and they're critical to what we're doing. One, they're our connection between Seattle for our players, our staff, but most important, Scott, they're the connection to the fans. We're going to have thousands and thousands of Kraken fans that are going to come down here and be a part of what we're doing. Training camp, preseason games, and in particular, watching the future of that hockey team develop right here in Coachella Valley. So we couldn't be more pleased and proud to have them as our second partner. They have a huge commitment to this valley, and we're excited on building that point of destination tourism with Alaska Airlines. Thank you for believing in this vision. So finally, I just want to add, this is an incredible project. In a year and a half, in October, when we open this arena, and we begin to play with the new AHL franchise, the last AHL franchise, by the way, that's available, the 32nd franchise, when we ultimately have that relationship with the Kraken and the NHL, where we're developing players, doing games here, doing huge amounts of fans coming to and from the Valley, we're going to have so much more. You're going to hear a lot about concerts. We brought this gentleman you're going to hear from in a little while has, I don't know if it's a privilege or a burden. He's opened up every arena I've ever done. And somehow, some way, when we asked him to take this trip, Irving and I, he agreed to do it because he says, I want to see how the hell you guys build these damn things, not just how you open these things. You're going to hear about music, and you're going to hear it from one of the greatest artists in the history of the live entertainment industry. We're going to do unbelievable live entertainment, and there's no one that knows this better than Irving Azoff, and they're going to tell you about that. But we're going to do a lot more. We're going to do sports. We're going to do boxing. We're going to do wrestling. For those of you that don't believe it's a sport, WWE will be here in the Valley for you. You tell Vince McMahon it's not a sport. I don't even go there. We're also going to do UFC. We're very proud that Silver Lake, a partner in Irving's and my company, is a partner in UFC. We have relationships, connections, and a passion to bring the best in live entertainment here, in music, in sports, conventions, anything that ultimately books hotel rooms, we're in, because this is now our community. Irving lives here, I live here, and we're proud of this community. So we're grateful to all of you. You hung in there. We now take a pledge back to this community to take this platform and make this a better place for all of us. Not just for our kids, not just for those that play hockey, not just for those that move here from the north. Everybody in this valley ultimately will be touched by what we're trying to do here, and we'll make this a better and a more positive place for all of us to live. And we'll do it privately, because that's the way we should fund these things going forward. So thank you to the residents that believed in this. Thank you for all of you that supported in this. We are now in the ground as of today, and we'll be open in October of next year, and it will be one of the great gathering places for live entertainment. And we will live in the shadow and try to live up and aspire to be as great as Indian Wells Tennis Center, as great as Coachella and Stagecoach, at being another crown jewel for the Coachella Valley. Thank you, and thank you for having us.
The next speaker, Manny Perez, supervisor.
Why are you laughing?
There was something said back here that I'm not going to repeat up on the microphone.
No, don't tell him. Manny just said, thanks for taking my speech.
Manny Perez.
Thank you, everybody. Tim, you're a hard act to follow, man. I don't know how I'm going to follow you, but I appreciate all your words, and obviously I thank all of you for being here as well. A lot of old friends I haven't seen in a while, and a lot of new friends that we're going to make along the way. And I appreciate all of you that are here today with us. Tim, you said a lot of great things, and I have a lot of thank yous to give as well. But before I move on, I think for me, the most important thing is what you mentioned with community benefit. And that's what we stand for as the Coachella Valley. That's what we stand for as the County of Riverside. That's what the Burger Foundation stands for. And, you know, growing up here as a kid in the desert, raise your hand if you grew up here in the Coachella Valley. Did you ever think that one day we will have our own arena, we will have our own ice hockey team? Did you ever think that maybe our kids can go practice there one day? Maybe not for us, but for our kids. And that's what this is all about. That's right. It's about the jobs, and it's about the revenues and all the good stuff that's going to come with it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it is about our future. And so I appreciate that. And for me, that is a game changer. Especially for many of us who grew up in the area, that grew up in underserved areas, under-resourced areas, that didn't even have those opportunities. Well, we're going to have them now. And that's a beautiful thing. And so I also just want to say thank you to Congressman Ruiz's office for being here. I know that Assembly Member Eduardo Garcia's office is somewhere around here. Senator Melendez is out here as well. If they couldn't make it, their well wishes are with us. I also just want to say thank you to my Riverside County Board of Supervisors for supporting this project. Our chairwoman, Karen Spiegel, is in the house. Say hello, Chair. Supervisor Jeffries, Supervisor Washington, Supervisor Hewitt couldn't make it here today, but their well wishes are with us as well, and I thank them for all their good work and as well for making sure that we got this done. There are a lot of folks that called in and gave testimony, and a few people I just want to acknowledge. There's a person by the name of Sandra Schultz. I don't know if she happens to be in here. There she is. Hey, Sandra. Nice to meet you. A person by the name of Joseph. I didn't catch his last name, but he happened to call in as well. And then Jeff Larson. There he is. Hey, Jeff. Pleased to meet you. Well, these are individuals that represent our figure skating club, our Cal State University San Bernardino, which one day will be Cal State University Palm Desert, hospitality program, and then our youth hockey club. So thank you for calling in. Your voice counts, and we heard it loud and clear. So thank you once again. Riverside County Planning Commissioners, want to thank you. And I'm not sure if Bill Sanchez happens to be here, but he is the president of the board, and he's also a longtime resident, born and raised here in the Coachella Valley. Our county staff, Riverside County Transportation and Land Management Agency. Do we have any county staff here right now? Is there anybody that made it? Well, let me just say to you all, there's a couple people that I want to recognize. John Hildebrandt, Robert Flores, Mo Salama, Charissa Leach, and Juan Perez. These are the individuals within the county team, within Transportation Land Management Agency, made it happen internally. I also want to thank my staff, specifically Steven Hernandez. I know he's in here somewhere. There he is. He's back there. And Stephanie Virgen, who runs our community council in Thousand Palms. Earlier this morning, I was just kind of stating out loud that this is unbelievable that we actually were able to make this happen. It's a remarkable feat. And who would have known that we were going to make this happen? Well, my chief of staff, who happens to be the mayor of Coachella, out loud stated, I knew I did. I was going to make this happen. We're going to make this happen. He knew right away. I go, well, you must have a crystal ball because, we were going to have some challenges, but we made it work. One big hand to Oakview Group for their commitment to fulfilling this vision. John Bolton, Tim Lewicki, Irvin Azov, Francesco Bodie, Tony Locacciato. Hopefully I said that correctly, and I might have missed some people. I want to say thank you to you as well. Thank you for all the good work you're doing. Mr. Doug Vance and the Bergen Foundation, thank you once again. And by the way, I guess now we're proud owners or something of the sort of a new fire truck. All right. A $1.3 million new ladder truck, as a matter of fact. I also want to make sure I thank our fire chief, Bill Weiser, for making this work, our Palm Desert City Council for making this work with all our community members as well throughout the county or throughout the Riverside County, as well as specifically the Coachella Valley area. But I want to say thank you to our Thousand Palms Community Council. I think the chairperson is Chris Mitchell, but vice chair, Bill Sensel. Where's Bill? Hey, Bill. Thanks for calling in that morning. Really appreciate you did so. And thanks for standing up for this project, which is very much necessary here in Thousand Palms. Make sure you let Patricia, Alice, and Samantha know that we said thank you as well. Well, there you are. Thank you. CVB board, Mr. Scott White and your entire staff, thank you as well, sir. Hey, your third-party study really was very helpful, and I think it got us over the top. Right, so that was very, very awesome that you were able to do that. Now, this group formed a coalition of supporters that count over 300 leaders in the business community, government, as well as respected organizations, tribes, special districts, chambers of commerce, tourism industry overall. That's a lot of people to engage. And so I want to just read a few quotes from some of our leadership that made this happen. Now, first and foremost, I want to go back to Gina Nestandi, because Gina, out of the city of Palm Desert, said, we're going to make this happen. And she never lured away. Quote unquote, I wholeheartedly support the Oakview Group's proposed arena project in Riverside County. I believe it will benefit both Palm Desert, the Coachella Valley at large, and Riverside County. The fact that this sports arena project is being privately funded with no cost to taxpayers makes it a huge economic driver to our local economy, and it is my understanding that the data shows it will generate almost $3 billion in economic output. That's from our very own Gina Nestandi. Thank you, Gina. Where's Christy? There you are. I thought I saw you. Quote unquote. I would like to take this opportunity to offer my support for Oakview Group's proposed arena project in Riverside County. The additional 120 plus events per year at the new arena will have a profound influence on the tourism and visitor market in Palm Springs, as well as the entire Coachella Valley. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Mayor Linda Evans, quote unquote, "We believe the new arena project is a game changer for the Coachella Valley and that it gives our residents as well as visitors over 100 plus nights of new options for entertainment, enhancing the overall appeal of our destination and the quality of life for our full-time residents." Thank you, Linda. Is Scott Mattis here? Richard Belaco? Elaine Holmes? Let me read this one. From the city of Coachella, this is Mayor Pro Tem Josie Gonzalez. Coachella is an idealized name in music and known throughout the world. It's idolized. The city of Coachella is thrilled to support a much-needed indoor arena for music, sports events, and community celebrations. We are confident the Oakview Group will deliver a world-class arena and present events the residents of Coachella will enjoy on an annual basis, quote unquote. That's from Josie Gonzalez, City of Coachella, Mayor Pro Tem. And there are a list of people that continue and continue and continue. And there is one more that I'd like to get to here. Mr. Harold Matzner. As chairman, quote unquote, as chairman of the McCollum Theater, I have seen the value of world-class talent visiting the desert and making our regional community a better place to live and work. Amenities such as the new proposed arena add to the mix of attractions, festivals, and events that so many in our community have worked tirelessly to create and support. The arena is a wonderful added value for the Valley. It's a big deal, and it will do wonderful things for the Valley's brand and for attracting segments of our population such as snowbirds. It's exciting, and we are very lucky to be getting it. Thank you, Harold. The list goes on, folks. But I just wanted to give you an example of what people had to say and how important this project is for our community. I also just want to say thank you to the Seattle Kraken for bringing world-class hockey to our world-class region. I want to thank you as well, and I want to thank Live Nation Entertainment. But I also just want to put in a plug. It took us a while to get here, not only recently with this project, but to the point where people recognize the Valley as now a destination place for music, for concerts, for sporting events. I want to thank Golden Voice, Paul Tillett, and your team. Paul, where are you? You're around here somewhere. Paul and your team, thank you for what you've done for our Valley for years. Mr. Hagan as well and his vision, the Indian Wells Tennis Tournament, the Palm Springs Film Festival, all that are venues, events that took place to get us to where we are now. And that needs to be recognized and valued. And I appreciate all the good work. And you've already heard about the $300 million investment. You've heard about the 1,400 to 500 jobs. You heard about the $1 million annually that's going to come in tax revenues for us, for our area. It's much needed and well deserved. Obviously, we thank you for that. And so we know that the Coachella Valley and the Palo Verde Valley, we're blessed to be one big family. Yeah, we fight here and there, but at the end of the day, we're one big family. We come together, we make it work. Some way, somehow. We figure it out. And with that being said, many of our cities have monikers, have their own little saying. For example, the city of Blythe, it's known as the first sunrise in California. Desert Hot Springs, California's spa city. Indio, the city of festivals. Coachella, city of eternal sunshine. La Quinta, gem of the desert. Palm Springs, like no place else. And many others, right? And so we're in Thousand Palms, folks. It's awesome to say that this arena is going to be built in an unincorporated area. And we don't necessarily have a slogan. But you know what? I read it in a Desert Sun article. And I think Tim, you were being quoted by the Desert Sun. And people asked you, I think the journalist asked you, why 1,000 Palms? You know? And you said, well, it's accessible right off the freeway. We have beautiful mountain views as our backdrop. The scenic desert surrounding is well loved. Quite frankly, at the end of the day, it's the heart of the valley. So 1,000 Palms, here we go. The heart of the valley. Bob Wright, Joaquin Tejina, thank you as well on the economic development efforts throughout the county of Riverside, but specifically in the Coachella. I got to put in a plug in for the 4th. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Tim wanted me to say that he has trademarked that, so it sounds like we have further discussions around that saying. Next up, Scott White, President and CEO of the Greater Palm Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau.
So when you come to these, you prepare your remarks and you think deeply about what does this represent for the destination, and certainly what does it represent for tourism. And I'm going to throw all this away and just speak from the heart. Moved here 10 years ago and had a great board of directors and still do. Tom Tabler, Doug Watson, Rob Hampton, Aftab Data, Celeste are here. Our JPA Executive Committee, Linda Evans, has been so supportive. Now Jeff Coors. And the one conversation we had 10 years ago is how do we make this a year-round destination? How do we make sure we stop calling it seasonal? How do we say high season, low season? This is going to be a year-round destination, and this arena is the catalyst to make that happen. The board entrusted in us to invest their dollars into finding air service. Alaska Airlines is one of our top airlines, Southwest Airlines, and we continue. You see that this summer. We've got double the seat capacity this summer than we've ever had in the history of this destination. And I'm going to say today that this fantastic, unbelievable arena in 2023, we're going to be a year-round destination. And to hear Tim talk about all the other events that I didn't even know about that he's holding in his back pocket is only going to add to the flavor to this destination. And you have our commitment from our CVB team and the marketing team as we market this valley, not only domestically, but internationally around the globe. We're on the road constantly. Having this arena and the world-class entertainment from Live Nation, the sporting events and so forth, is certainly going to make our job much easier. It's going to give us something to really talk about. We're really excited about having hockey in the destination. As you all know, the Northwest and Canada love our destination. They're always looking for things to do. If a destination doesn't have new and relevant visitor experiences, they're going to go somewhere else. If they can't get there, if they can't have a good time, they're not going to come back. They're not going to tell their friends. So having the arena is going to just add another component to this destination, a component that's going to make us a world-class destination. We are a world-class destination, but this is going to take us to an even higher level. So thank you to the Burger Foundation, thank you to Oakview Group and the Live Nation. You're going to really put us on the map. We're excited. We're going to help you fill that building. You said 159 events a year. We're going for 180 events a year. We're going to go farther. So I see Rolf is here from the Tennis Gardens as well. What a nice compliment to that. So we got tennis and hockey going on. It's an exciting day. It's a fantastic day. It's like Christmas in the desert. Thank you all for being here, and it's great to be part of all of this. Thank you.
Next up, we have Doug Vance, Executive Vice President for Real Estate, the H.N. and Francis E. Berger Foundation.
Well, thank you for coming to the Berger home. We've been here since, we opened this clubhouse in 2007, and we started purchasing land here in 2003 and assembled all these parcels. We have over 700 acres now, including the golf course of 220 acres. And in my 30 years experience with the Berger Foundation, I can only tell you that this is the happiest moment that I have bringing this to the group that I work with, and it's a pinnacle of what we're about. This is, as the Bergers said, that they wanted to help people help themselves. We don't know any better way to do that than to team up with an organization like Tim and Francesco to get this all done. And at the time of COVID, we got this done. And I think that speaks for itself for Manny's group. everybody that he thanked, I concur with. I mean, behind the scenes, you have no idea how many people, I don't think any of us do, that it took. But it's a village. And I am so proud to be where I am today. Like I say, I've been given the opportunity. I was given the opportunity many years ago when I was 40 years old to come on the board of the Burger Foundation because of my relationship with Joan Kalamanis, and who is the daughter of the Burger Foundation founders, and Ron Allen. We were good friends, contractors together, and it was just totally amazing to me that he called me up upon Mr. Berger's passing, and he asked me to be on the board. I had no idea. I didn't even know I qualified for something like that. You know, but I should have known, because where we are today, when I was playing hockey, I almost made it into the finals, and then I woke up. Ever since I met these guys and ladies, it's been a dream. I mean, I've been home. You know, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, cannot sleep because of the excitement, not about anything else. I've never dealt with a group as so powerful as these people. They do what's right. You hang out with good people, and good things happen. I'd like to introduce the members of our board and thank them individually for being my support system. And I'll start off with, if you just raise your hand so we can acknowledge you, Chris McGuire, President of the Burger Foundation. Sitting next to him is his wife, and then Sherry Allen. Sherry Allen is the past president's wife and sole trustee of the Allen Foundation. Catherine Reed, vice president of programs, sweetheart to deal with. I think she's the face of the foundation. Most of you know her more than probably anybody with our foundation. She's out there in the TV screen and all that, and I point and laugh, and no, I'm very proud, very proud. Mike Rover, born and raised here, and couldn't be happier to have him on my team. He works directly with myself and Jennifer, and we're knocking it dead. And he's keeping me on track, because without him, I'd be off track for sure. His wife, Bodie. Joe Glissette, the head of our accounting department, vice president, head of our accounting department. He's been with us, Joe, 3 or 4 years now. He's been a blessing, and he took over a very important person on the staff, and we'll get to him. Francis Wong, director of the Burger Foundation, been with us a long time. I should say Senator Francis Wong of Hawaii. And then we have Daryl Burridge in the second row, retired but director on the Burger Foundation board. Next, Mike Stutz, director on the foundation board. And then Jennifer, you hold your hand up there. She's my assistant and Mike's assistant, and she is a go-getter. Without her, I won't talk her up. Somebody will want to hire her, I know. But anyway, then there's Joan Kalamanis, who is Mr. and Mrs. Berger's daughter. She's the reason I stand here today, honestly, her and Ron. So I couldn't be happier. I just can't say anything that would impress you about where we're headed. I think this is how important today is, and getting past the obstacles that we have. We're finally here. We have entertained no less than 24 developers that had great ideas. No one had what these people offer, and one of those very important things is money. Because they come to us with great ideas. We have all the land and the facility here and all that, and they have the idea. They sit down at the table and they want our money to build on our property with their ideas. And that's not how these people work. Tim and Francesco came in to me and said that, came in to us, I'm sorry, but they said, we have this arena, obviously we're all following it from Palm Springs, and they finally sat down with us, and Tim says, hey, I got the money, so let's build this thing. So that's when the deal was made. I went to the board, and we all agreed that we can make something happen, and I just couldn't be happier for the Valley and for the burgers. So I thank you very much for coming.
And Doug and I are connecting later. He has offered to help us get a house down here, so I'm really excited to follow up with him. Next up, Francesco Bodie, President of Business Development, Oakview Group.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of OVG, Live Nation, and the Seattle Kraken, Coachella Valley, thank you for having us. We are thrilled to be here. The Burger Foundation, and specifically Doug, and I have developed such a friendship. I want to thank you because he sat through a few meetings and we brainstormed. And Doug and the Burger Foundation, the board, thank you for this partnership and thank you for this friendship. This is one that we were very excited about for many decades to come, and to work with you on the greater vision you have for the Valley is such an honor, so thank you. The location of the new arena, as most of you know, is the perfect site, and it would not have been possible if not for the vision of the Burger Foundation so many years ago. The foundation developed the site with the idea of bringing something one of a kind to the desert, and we could not be more pleased to have partnered with them to bring their vision to life. We are appreciative of the partnership, so very sincere thank you. From day one, everyone at Riverside County Board of Supervisors, specifically, Supervisor Perez and his Chief of Staff, Stephen Hernandez, have been instrumental in moving this project forward, so we thank you. To all the elected officials in the 9 cities that make up Coachella Valley, who I think are all here today, a huge thanks. It was critical to have support from every city, and we are delighted all saw the potential of this project and the positive impact it would bring to the community. A special thanks to AFTAB, Celeste and Harold, and the entire board at Palm Springs Resorts. Your efforts and really your guidance and wisdom have been invaluable in making sure this is authentic to the community that we serve, so thank you. I also want to recognize former Mayor Robert Moon in Palm Springs and Gina Nestande in Palm Desert. You have helped guide us, and throughout this process have been an instrumental voice for us to make the right decision and to continue the process, so thank you. And as Tim mentioned earlier, to our hockey fans, a very special and unique component of this project is the hockey training facility and community ice center. With this second sheet of ice, we will be able to accommodate and host many local skating groups who have needed a new home since the closing of the last hockey rink last March. The community vision for ice would not have been possible without Sandra Schultz, who's here. It's nice to see you too. And the entire Desert Figure Skating Club, Jeff Larson, who's also here, and his team at the Desert Blaze Youth Hockey Club. I'm now your biggest fan, so thank you. I hope I get a jersey. And Carolyn Martino from the Coachella Valley Youth Hockey Foundation. Thank you. We are excited and honored to be part of your community. This is the first step of what you will see from all of our team of being here, being partners, being focused on adding value and long-term vision to everything that you've already built. So thank you so much.
Irving Azoff, founding member of OVG.
So, I'm not a hockey player.
Not yet.
By the way, I can't believe you are either. But anyway, first of all, I want to say that my partner, Tim Lewicki, is a force of nature. I don't know anybody during the pandemic with, when things didn't go right in the previous site that could have gotten us up and done. And it took a unique partnership with Manny Perez and Steve Hernandez and in the county, and Manny said to me, you know, we got this done in 6 months, which is actually not true. It was 5.5 months. And you know, this just doesn't happen anywhere in the world. And the Valley deserves it. It's earned it. It wouldn't be possible if we weren't able to get David Bonderman, our partners at Seattle Kraken, to support this. I think that Tim and I now own a hockey team, which I know nothing about, but Mr. Bodie will. But none of this happens, and I know this has all been talked about, but I have to reiterate, you know, from Mr. Ellison at the tennis center to Steve Squarey's leadership in bringing Amex back in here. You know, this tournament, this golf tournament here now is as sought after as the AT&T Pebble for all of us hack amateurs to play in. And his, you know, he was just heartbroken at what COVID did to their ability to run the tournament the second year. But, you know, but we had Stevie Nicks out there, you know, 2 years ago, and you know, that tournament's going to continue to support music in our arena in the Valley. But, you know, Paul Tillett and his team at Coachella and Stagecoach really put music on the map here, and this doesn't happen without him. That said, we are just at the start of music here in the Valley. Steve Hernandez has volunteered and is helping us. We're getting started. We're doing everything from we're going to convert. We've got our eyes on a location, but we have to develop musical talent the same way you're going to develop hockey talent here. And I'll have a race with you. I'll bet we create some stars quicker than you create some NHL hockey players. But you know, music grows, and it grows from an embryo. It grows from the bottom. So you know, we're going to be looking at other opportunities to bring music here to the Valley: rehearsal space, sound stage, recording studios, and programs. You know, through the schools and the college system down here, to try and let local talent have its chance. And in these days of streaming music and everything, it can happen everywhere, and it happens for a lot more artists than it used to. It's not going to be easy to book an arena down here in a city this size. There's a lot of people competing for that. But through our partnership with Paul Tillett, who's committed to put stuff in there, along with our Live Nation, who are one of our investors, and what we do, we know we're going to be successful. Earlier this afternoon, as we were getting ready to do this, Joe Walsh won a ping pong contest with Jimmy Buffett, and he'll tell you what his plan. He gets to decide who opens the arena, so he'll tell you what's going on there. But you know, Mr. Buffett now owns the Margaritaville Hotel, and the first thing he said was, you know, I want to come play the arena. But we want to teach people what Tim and I discovered here in the Valley, which is now, it's almost my primary home, more than my second home in Los Angeles. It's the best winter weather in the country. It's unparalleled in the events we get here all year round, which everybody's talked about. One other thing that I've discovered is that you need water, okay? And Steve Hernandez has taught me that, and so has Manny, especially down here in the East Valley. But you know, one person wasn't thanked here, Anthony Bianco, who is a water board member. I think he's probably here too. But we need water here too to do this. But we've got lots more to do on the music side, and you'll see, you know, I guess the biggest stars in the world. That's who plays our arenas. You know, we're opening in Seattle, we're opening in Belmont, New York, and in Austin, Texas. But this place will be open next October and rocking. And these things are never really successful if you don't bring a live, bona fide rock star. And today we have with us Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, Mr. Joe Walsh. You never know. Come on up, Joe. Joe and I met in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, when he jumped out of a tree as a member of the James Gang. He doesn't remember a lot from those days, but I assure you it happened. But again, this is a guy that, and he will bring it here, I promise you, but who spends every Veterans Day figuring out how to honor our vets and raise tons of money to get spent throughout the year through that. So he already asked me for Veterans Day here next November to do his annual event and stuff. But he, like he said, he's opened every one of Tim's venues, and he's good luck.
This was all my idea. Well, I'm Joe Walsh, and hi. I would say at this point, over 35 years of having played here with various bands and at various venues, I could say that I've played here a lot. And it's a special place. It truly is. And I think across the board with the music community, it's a special place. The audiences are fantastic. There's just a desert vibe here. So it's different. It's different than everywhere else we play. And I've seen the valley grow. I've seen the music get better, slowly, but through the years. And I truly think at this point that what Coachella Valley needs is a world-class venue. I think it's time. It's not just this little funky place in the desert anymore. It's growing, and it's up and coming, and the music is getting better and better, and it's time. I've seen Tim and Irving build venues for the past 20 years, and each time they do it, they get better at it and better at it. There's so much that you don't think about to a building like this, to an entertainment place like this. There's so much you don't think about. And with the growth of the digital age and the growth of technology, it's hard to keep up with it. But here's what you need. You need a place that can handle movies, video, live recording, streaming, internet access, all of those things. If you could put all those wires in the wall, you're so far ahead of all the other venues because it's world class. And people can come here, and people will want to come here and have a night at. And I mean world-class musicians. I think the weakest link has been that kind of facility. And the other thing is, it takes 60 to 80 people to make a concert possible. We get all the credit, but we just walk out and play. It takes 60 to 80 people, if you count the truck drivers, to get here. And all those people need what they need when they arrive and knock on the door. And if that's all in place, so they can set the stuff up, set up the lights and sound and the production and the great big screens and dressing rooms, feeling comfortable, the artists having their own space, getting ready to play. All of that is what Tim and Irving have learned. And that makes a place world class. And that's what they have in mind for this. So I'm all in. I think it's time for Coachella Valley to take a step up and host world-class events. And I think it's great for the community, and it's great for the hockey teams. Okay? So if that happens, and if it's built from scratch with all of that stuff, the new technology, the internet, movies, lights, sound, streaming, recording, it was like the baseball field. You build it and they'll come, you know? And we will come. As a matter of fact, if all that happens, I guarantee you the Eagles will play on opening night. Thank you.
There's no following that. So we're going to wrap it up here. Of course, we would like to thank everyone for coming and spending the time. Please stick around. There will be a reception. Our speakers are going to step outside for a quick photo opportunity and be back to mingle with everyone. So thank you again. Media, please join us outside for that availability as well as interviews. After the reception as well, feel free to stop by and take your own photo on your way out. And we look forward to seeing you all again in 2022 for the opening of this amazing arena.